Talk radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024. Kicking off the new year right. That's right. This is Fade to Black. Let's do this, man. All right. Help support the show and all of our hard work around here. It's easy to do. Get yourself a Fade to Black t-shirt. 2 ways to get them, 2 shirts to get. The links are below. And now, everything's signed. It includes shipping. Just get a t-shirt. Help support the show. Got a big team around here. And it's the best way to do it. I announced earlier today on Fade to Black Breaking News, because I have breaking news. If you ordered a 2XL shirt, that's an extra large times 2, we ran out. We've got new shirts on the way. Should be here in a few days, and we will get those out to you. Okay, so just letting everybody know, if you're sitting impatiently waiting for a 2X and it hasn't arrived yet. All right, everything else is fine, but a 2X. So anyway, I announced that earlier today on Fade to Black Breaking News. And so I've got that out of the way. Coming up next month is the Conscious Life Expo. And I have been a part of the expo for 10 years. I think this is my 11th year of doing the expo, 10th year of doing this thing. It's my favorite show, favorite conference of the year. It's certainly one of the biggest in the world, if not the biggest. It is ginormous. I do a lot of conferences all year long, and there is nothing like the Conscious Life Expo. And every single year, I do 2 shows around the Conscious Life Expo. I do the preview show, which we are doing tonight. Then I do a post-conference show as soon as it is done, with video and images and, tell some stories and all that stuff. So this is part 1. Tonight is our annual preview special. And just like last year and the year before, Serena Wright Taylor is here tonight with us. She's one of the producers at the Conscious Life Expo. And Kristine Augustyn is with us once again, too, as well. She is one of my most favorite people in the world. So is Serena. All right, but Kristine is on the show tonight. So I'm just going to leave that right there. And Kristine is amazing. She's also one of the producers and principals over at the Conscious Life Expo. And we're going to go through as much as we can tonight. The expo itself is so big. I have no idea about attendance numbers, but certainly way north of 10,000 attendees, and probably just south of 20,000, like right in there. 15,000 is a pretty good number. It is a huge conference. And as we go through this tonight, the conference is set up with a few different things going on all at the same time. And attending the conference, it is at the Los Angeles Airport, the LAX Hilton. Easy to get to, easy to park, easy to get tickets. And one of the things about the conference for me is the vendor hall. We'll be talking about that tonight. And the vendor section of the Conscious Life Expo is huge. I would say that a lot of people, that's where the action is. It is amazing to go and do that. So that is like 1/3 of the conference is the vendor side of things. It's tremendous to go and not only see and meet the vendors, but it's such a varied vendor room. You've got everything from jewelry and crystals, but you've got healing and readings and food and man. Okay, so there's that, and then there's the lecture side of things. There's the workshop part of things. There's the post conference section of everything that goes on, and then there is the awards, and there's the different special events that are going on, like the talent show and all of the forums, like the George Nori forum. So all of that is all in one place. So go to consciouslifeexpo.com. Tickets, info, everything that you need is there. And that's my little warm up for the show. Again, this year, I am the MC and the master of ceremonies and the host of the conference, which is an honor and a privilege for me personally. It is just such an amazing event to not only for me personally to go and do the things that I do, but to hang out with everybody and to walk around and have conversations and dinners and lunches and all of that. So once again, I would like to welcome to Fade to Black, Serena Wright Taylor. She's right there. And Kristine Augustyn, she is right there.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. And I'm gonna start off with the obvious. Kristine's having a great hair day.
Thank you. I did it just for you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh man! Listen, everybody, when you go to the Conscious Life Expo and you're running around and you're doing, and you see Kristine, just go up and go, man, Church is right.
Yes.
You are indeed having a great hair day. So that's a little inside thing that has been going on between the three of us for many, many years. But Kristine, welcome back to the show. Serena, welcome back. And we've got a long night in front of us. We've got a lot. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to get everything in that represents the Conscious Life Expo, but we will do our best. Okay. But I kind of want to start here. We got some sad news over the weekend about David Soul and Starsky and Hutch. And many, many, many years ago, Serena, she goes, Jimmy, you want to get David Soul on Fade to Black? And I said, yeah, why? Sure. But then she told me her story about coming to Los Angeles and meeting and working for David Soul for quite a long time. And I didn't know when I was like, why? Well, it's because you knew him really, really well, and you thought that he would be a great guest. And we tried for many years. We just never quite got it together. And and now he's left, to go find the answers that we all seek. Mm-hmm. And so when you got the news, now he was living in England?
Yeah, in England with his wife, Helen. And they had just moved to a really nice house a little bit outside of London, because in London it was bad for his breathing. And so, and finally they had a garden, and he loved having a garden and lots of, plants around. And he had his 80th birthday there in August, and his family even came from America, and his daughter lives there. So it was a really incredible party in the garden. I didn't go to it because I wasn't going to England this year. And we always hoped that, I used to see him nearly every time I went, but we always hoped that he'll be around a bit longer and to have conversations. But we'd speak a lot on the phone, But yeah, then he's been ill for some time, and he couldn't really travel on the plane anymore. But I really want people to know how he did so many good things all the time for the world, for people, for humanity. And even when I was working for him and he was working on a script or TV show or something, he'd also have another project going that was something to do with helping people. That's, he really felt it in his heart all the time if someone was suffering. And I know if he's on, on the other side, he would be in a wonderful place on the other side because of all the good he did. But he would say, wait, I want to see what can I do from here. He would immediately, after discovering how life goes on, he'd want to do something from there. We were talking a lot about, the wars that are going on, and it's really sad. And even animals and things, like it's trying to save the dogs in China and things like that. So he was always doing good. I remember actually sometimes when I was there, if someone knocked on the door, I would always try to get to the door first, because sometimes people would come by and ask for money. And I don't know if they knew it's because he was living there or it's just a nice area. They wanted to knock on the door. But if I didn't get there first, he would be giving them money. And he'd think, and they would tell a story. And I said, I don't know if that was true. And he said, it doesn't matter. They must need it if they came. That's how his heart was always.
No, let me ask you this. At one point, Starsky and Hutch was the #1 television show in the United States. We're talking about, and unless you went through that Starsky and Hutch phase here in the United States, if you weren't around for it, you don't understand the impact that show had, man. I mean, and he rocketed to mega stardom. How did it affect him? Being, that famous and that recognizable. What was he like as a person?
He was really humble. That didn't affect him. He wasn't an egotistical person at all. That's why I was saying, all the good works he didn't really make a fanfare about it. It was just his nature. He was just really caring all the time and very funny. He would just make us laugh all the time. Even there was some time we'd be talking about something really serious and sad. The next minute, he would be, we'd make jokes and be laughing. It didn't go to his head whatsoever. And I worked with him after that when he was doing some other shows on TV. And right up until he left for England to do some musicals.
Right. Yeah, and he was a great vocalist and musician too as well.
Yeah, that's how he started.
He that's kind of he kind of like had the trifecta, right? He had the hit TV show. He was as handsome as the day was long, and he could sing like a bird. Right? Yeah. That's the trifecta, man.
Yeah, that's really good karma and really good astrological chart. I know that. Vedic chart. Very, very good.
Kristine, were you a Starsky or a Hutch fan growing up?
I was a Starsky fan.
I mean, who wasn't,
right?
I loved
the show.
It was a great show.
That now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was in a strange way. He's listening right now and laughing.
Yeah.
But in a strange way to see it's part of your legacy. I'm just going to say this straight up, that your legacy is solid, that when you do, depart and leave this beautiful blue gem for to continue your journey, to have the fans and the media react like that, and that was really cool. And it's not a morose thing to say. When you go, you want people to say nice things and to remember everything, and to see that happen and to see the world react the way they did made me feel really good. And I thought about you immediately. I got the text, Kristine, as you probably did too as well. So I got the text that morning. I was just, reading everything, the statements and stuff. And I got the text from Serena. So Serena, I know that you knew him really well, and and our thoughts are with his family, and he made it to 80.
Yeah.
He made it to 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a good one. He lived a good one.
I was thinking today, when I started working, he was trying to get, Leonard Peltier, the Native American, who is in jail since the 70s to do with the Pine Ridge incident. I don't know if you knew about that, but he was always trying to get him out of jail. And this man is still in jail. He was framed. I don't know if anyone knows about that, but you can read about that Pine Ridge incident with Leonard Peltier. Actually, I think that Danny Sheehan's office is trying to help him as well. But he was framed that he had killed 2 FBI agents. So David was trying to help that situation as well when I first worked for him. I was always trying to help.
Yeah, right on. Okay, well, rest in peace, David's soul. It kind of hit me strangely over the weekend, knowing especially that we had this show tonight with Serena. So anyway, rest in peace, David soul. And I always wanted a Gran Torino.
You did.
Yeah.
With that stripe, and anybody that drove one, and there were a lot. I mean, there were lots across. Everybody got one. I was always jealous. What they call it, the tomato stripe.
Yeah, the red tomato, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So coming up next month, it's February 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th is the Conscious Life Expo. And now in its officially 22nd annual. Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts. When I talk about the impact of the Conscious Life Expo, as we start going through this, Serena, I'll circle back to you in a second. Kristine, it is truly like one of the great spectacles on the conference calendar, isn't it?
It definitely is. It's huge. And what I always like to say, it's like a giant love fest. You get to be surrounded by all the people that have all your same ideas, and you get to talk about your ideas freely. And it's just a giant love fest. Everybody loves each other for a whole weekend. And it's really kind of addicting.
Yeah, it truly is. Serena, when you think about, here we go, right? We work on it all year. This isn't just.
We do.
Yes,
we work on it all year. But it's just 3 weeks away. It's 4 weeks away.
Oh,
yeah.
Give me another week.
Are you ready?
No. Still a lot more to do. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I just want to get everyone knowing everything they're doing and everything organized. But you can never get everything perfect. But I like to get everything in order. But we are ready with some fantastic events, and the speakers are ready, and they've got some amazing, lectures and workshops ready. Both Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday post-con. And everyone should know about that. On Monday, they can see some of their favorite speakers for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, really, and in a smaller group, and ask them questions and hear about the latest information. And this year, of course, I'm really excited about disclosure. We're so close. I mean, we're already in disclosure, obviously, but we don't know what's going to happen even in these 4 weeks. It's happening so fast. And there's also Danny Sheehan's going to be with us, and he's going to talk about his whistleblowers, all the whistleblowers of the government and the latest things going on. And there's more. You might think but there's more. There's more whistleblowers coming, and there's more information. And then also, of course, Linda Moulton Howe is going to be with us, and she's going to talk about her whistleblowers on the Monday, because on Saturday she's going to talk about the holographic universe. And so is his work. He's going to talk about simulation theory and that's such an interesting thing to talk about too. So that's going, and AI as well. And of course, you have your panel starting on Friday, the Ancient Secrets panel. And
yeah, we'll get around to all that. We're getting ahead of our skis. We're getting ahead of our skis.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, if you want, Serena, I can go have dinner and I'll just let you just sit and go through everything.
I know I can get rid of it. Go through
Serena's ready to go. She's been working on this all year. She's got her notes written
I'm
out.
already there in my head.
You know what? Okay. This is a comment that I make every year, but it's really true. I pull up to the conference. I do the same thing every year. I wrap, fade to black, cars packed, right? I drive to LAX after the show. I arrive at the conference at, between 11 and midnight. But the second that I pull up, and I've got people helping me unload and do all of that stuff. The second my feet hit the ground there, the electricity just goes right up my legs. I know where I'm at. I know what's about to happen. And I walk into that lobby and I see all of and the electricity starts there, and it doesn't stop until I get into my car 3 or 4 days later. It's like that for me. And I think it is for everybody else. You know why? And Kristine, I keep saying Kristine. Kristine, you touched upon this. Part of it is I can say whatever I want.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I can say whatever I want. I can, and anybody can come up to me and say whatever you want. You have this freedom of thought. Yes. You have this freedom of sharing ideas. You have this freedom of collecting knowledge. You don't have to worry about anything. You know what you worry about? Water, getting something to drink. That's what you worry about.
Yes.
That's the stress. That's the stress.
Which food you're going to eat from all the amazing food vendors. Mm-hmm. That's a big choice too.
The stress. That's the real stress, right? Because everything else, you check your attitude at the door. Yes. As soon as you walk in, it's nothing but smiling faces and happiness and open minds, and it is an incredible experience. And until you've gone through that, attending a conference like the Conscious Life Expo or CLE itself, until you've experienced that, you just think we're babbling. And it's not the case, man. Yeah. It's not the case.
Yeah, you have to feel to be there. Everyone has to be there to feel it, and try to come for the whole 3 days. I always invite people. 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. I remember one year. This was a while ago. This is probably 10 years ago. But I remember I was sitting and listening to Jim Mars, right? And packed. There's 1,000 people, right? It's just packed. And I'm listening to Jim Mars, and who is one of our dearest friends that is no longer with us, but he's listening and laughing. But I'm listening to Jim. I'm like, you can say this stuff in public?
Right.
These are my people.
Exactly.
Just like, you go, Jim, you go. And it's that kind of vibe where you always have this censorship and restriction on what you can do or say, but no. You go to the Conscious Life Expo and you're going to get all of that and more. And that's what makes the conference so special. Kristine, who are you? Okay, as we go down the list, and I don't want you to play favorites because you're one of the producers there.
Right.
But who are you looking forward to this year?
Well, one of the people that I'm very excited will be here with us is Althea Lucrezia Vanzo. She is from South Africa, and she's never done anything in the States before. So this will be her first appearance from another country in the United States, and her first appearance at Conscious Life Expo. And I have been following her for a while on Instagram, and she does light language, and she's just amazing. And I've loved what she's done forever. So I'm so excited that we finally have the opportunity to bring her to everybody, so everybody gets to experience that.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Serena. Oh, she's back. Okay, she's back. Okay. She's got her little table. She's sitting there Indian style on a pillow. Am I wrong, Serena?
Actually, this time I did it differently, because when I'm on the floor, the cats can knock over my tea. And, and so this time I've gone right to the back of the house where I do readings, so that the cats don't come in. But
Okay.
Douglas is prepared.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me, please. Just somebody. Can we stop right there at light language for a second? To hear it for the first time is a paradigm shift. The first time that I heard light language, I didn't hear it from an adult. I heard it from a kid.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, what's going on here? And I jumped into it. This was many, many years ago. And but to experience it for the first time, Kristine, what is light language?
So light language is a channeled language, and it doesn't sound like any language you've heard, but you kind of connect to it on a soul level. And that's what happened to me when I first heard it. It's like, I don't know what she's saying, but I feel what she's saying. And I've seen other people do it too, but she's kind of magical. She's really a magical being. And she gives a lot of herself when she does it. So that's why I'm excited about meeting her myself in person, and kind of seeing her do it in person. That's going to be super cool. I just feel like the energy that builds up from that is going to be incredible.
Hey, you know what's really cool? Serena, have you seen two light language speakers speak to each other?
No, I haven't seen that. I've seen the writing, different kinds of writing and speaking, but not two together. That's
Yeah. And it is, how do I say this? It's I don't want to say vibrational, because it just sounds so, in our community, way too cliche, right? But it is it's a feeling, and you're picking up on that vibe. And when you're listening, you pick up on the vibe when you're listening to it. Then you get two light speakers in front of each other. That's crazy, because they know. And I've often thought, translating, you can translate yourself. Okay, I understand that. You can write it. But to have somebody else that is high vibe at that moment to understand is a pretty incredible thing to watch. I'm a total light language fan.
Oh, yay. Yay. Me too.
great.
And Serena, don't say Linda Moulton Howe. Who are you looking forward? Who are you looking forward to this year?
I would say Andrew Collins, because because he's coming for the first time to the expo. Of course, he lives in England, so and he's going to talk about galactic origins of human consciousness, and also the transdimensional intelligences that from all his trips to Turkey and Egypt and all over. Exploring these ancient sites and discovering things in ancient sites, like
good call.
Good
call.
So
and nobody
really
said
excited.
I'm going just to hear Andrew Collins say "Gobekli Tepe." Nobody. I mean, nobody says it like Andrew Collins. He I've been to Egypt twice in this last calendar year. Okay, I've been to Egypt twice. And to hear his name come up with different Egyptologists and different researchers over there in Egypt, great. They have a great amount of respect for Andrew Collins and the way he is able to. Now, he discovered the caves underneath the Great Pyramid.
Yeah,
It's him.
yeah,
That's him. That wasn't anybody else, right?
Yeah.
That was Andrew Collins. And just that right there, to have that sixth sense, that spidey sense, to sniff that out. And that was something that he worked on for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And made one of the greatest discoveries in the history of Egypt. And that's Andrew Collins. That's a good couple. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with Andrew.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
That's going to be
And
really
he's doing a post-conference as well.
Yeah, I think we have him on the show. Let me see here. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Andrew is on with us the 29th. So in a couple of weeks, we'll have Andrew here on Fade to Black, and we'll talk about what he is going to be doing at Conscious Life Expo. And I just muted my phone, Kristine.
Very good.
Yeah, Andrew's going to be on with us in a couple of weeks, and very excited about that. We've got Danny Sheehan. He's coming up too as well.
Superhero Danny Sheehan. He's a superhero to me now. Like all the stuff he is doing, it's crazy town. Like I worship at his feet now.
I remember the first time I saw Danny speak, 2013, 2014. I want to say Contact in the Desert. I might have that wrong. But I just remember him rapping and finishing up. And I was like, man, I haven't had another thought for 2 hours. Right? I was just so focused.
Yeah.
I didn't have another thought. And he has had such a great impact on. Now we can all joke, and because I like to say that when he's my guest, I get to take the night off. Right?
All right. Yes.
I get 2 questions. Right? I get 2 questions, one per hour, and that's it. And I can just kick back. And we can joke about that, but it's because he's got so much in his head.
Yeah.
He's got so much going on, and what he is doing right now for this community and the disclosure efforts. We can talk about the House and the Senate and the IG. You know who's at the center of all of that? Danny Sheehan.
Exactly. That's why I call him a superhero. It's like he is like a one-man disclosure right now. He is getting us so much information and just speaking so much more openly and kind of just at the middle of everything. I love him.
And people in the government are being briefed by him. He briefs them when they don't know everything.
Well, it's really funny. We can look at social media. I'm talking about the world. It's not just our community. And see these comments about the Inspector General's office or the Pentagon or investigations or releases or House subcommittees or the Senate or this senator or this representative. You can read all of that. There's a catalyst that is stirring the pot at the center of all of that. And that's Danny Sheehan.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world don't know about what goes on behind the scenes, but that's Danny's world, and there's a reason why we are in these days of disclosure, and that's Daniel Sheehan. Yeah, absolutely. Also this year, I want to talk about a couple of other things, but we've got Bashar, we've got Daryl Anka back with us. And out of the weekend, you've got the top 3 or 4 things that people always want to see. They want to They want to go to the award ceremony, right? The talent show was turned into this thing that none of us saw. And there's that, and of course the George Norrie Forum, right? Linda's post-con, these are the staples of things. But Bashar is such an event, and I get to host it every year, right? It's like somebody pinch me, but Serena, Bashar, to see 1,000 people packed in a room like that, standing room only. We've almost
not enough room.
we've almost had to call the authorities a couple of times over seating. But it's turned into that, hasn't it, Serena?
Yeah, and it's an incredible way to end the expo on Sunday for him to be speaking and bringing Bashar through. And we don't always get a title because Bashar, of course, lives beyond time, and so Darryl doesn't know always what the title is going to be until the last minute. That's why we don't put it in the program guide. But yeah, it'll be something we all need to know right now when he speaks. It'll be when he brings him through. It'll certainly be something that applies to everyone.
It's that right there. If you don't do anything all weekend long, right? Serena's UFO panel, always a highlight for the weekend, my panel or this or whatever. Bashar. I mean, that to sit and watch and listen to that happen is one of the things that you'll never forget. Ever. Yeah, absolutely incredible. I wanted to mention really quick, a little self-serving, I know, a little self-promotion. But I've got a disclosure luncheon that Serena is the producer of. Serena, what day is it? Are we doing that on Saturday or Sunday?
That is Sunday, like last time, and it's right after the UFO panel. So my UFO panel is first on Sunday, and then at noon, and mine ends at 11:30, my panel. Then everyone comes downstairs to a special place, but you have to sign up first to know a special room where we have a sort of a banquet tables, and everyone is served 3 courses, and you can choose. There's vegan as well, there's fish or there's chicken. Nice, wonderful meals, and you sit with the speakers and we chat about all kinds of secret things, and you get to ask everyone, the audience, you get to ask your favorite speakers questions while you're having dinner, while you're having lunch, and it's so special. So it will sell out because we don't have a big room for that. So definitely get your tickets early. I want to let everyone know that.
Can I tell? Kristine, were you there last year?
I was there. I was there at the beginning. I couldn't stay for the whole thing.
Okay. I'm going to tell everybody what I did last year. I messed with everybody's head. So I had I think I had 3 people come up and join me, right? Okay, so anyway, I get that out of the way. It was kind of funny because I had to singles, right? I couldn't have couples. I had to, anyway, so I got that out of the way, got everybody up and settled. And I'm talking to everybody and greeting them. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to let everybody know in this room right now is a Fed from the NSA. And I go, and so immediately, everybody's looking at the person next to them, right? I'm not making this up. Serena, am I making this up?
No, it's
okay,
so funny.
all right. So I go.
But you could have been right.
Right. So I said, all right. And I go, and if you pick the Fed, there's a special gift for you. And this person stands up and goes, I think she's the Fed. This lady in the back, she goes, I'm not a Fed. And so we laughed and we had a great time. At the end of everything, somebody comes up to me. We had like 3 or 4 guesses. People were pointing, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty wild.
Oh.
And so who was the Fed? I said, nobody got it right. What?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a great time. And also, okay, let's not forget about the significance of last year's Conscious Life Expo. And it seems like every year, and Serena will, it's the stars, it's the moon, it's the universe. Something lines up every year and something crazy happens. Last year at the expo, we had the missiles shooting down all the UAPs.
Oh, yes.
Right. And so, I'm introducing Linda Moulton Howe. This is like on Friday and or Saturday. I introduced Linda, and sitting in the front row is Caroline Corey. And Caroline stands up. She goes, "There's a UAP right now flying across the United States." I said, "What?" And she says it in front of everybody. Linda's like, "What is she talking about?" And Caroline holds up her phone, and we're all looking, and we've got a room full of 800-900 people. It's packed. Linda's chomping at the bit to get on, and suddenly we've got UAP breaking news. The next day at the disclosure lunch, as I'm doing my Fed announcement, right? The NSA is here. Friggin' Caroline Corey. I'm not making this up, am I, Serena?
No.
Caroline Corey goes, "Oh my God, Jimmy." And she raises her hand. I go, "What's going on now?" She stands up. "There's another UAP they're shooting missiles at," right? And that was on Sunday. It was, and that we had, that was the breaking news over the weekend at the Conscious Life Expo. And if we go back every year, it was always something that goes on in February.
Yeah.
Serena, what's going to happen this year? What astrology?
There was something about April. I really wanted to get this in. It may be going on by, it start to go on in February. But it's funny, what happened was I hadn't really talked about it with anybody yet. And Linda asked me, because we talk a lot on the phone, and she said, "Well, is there, in Vedic astrology, is there a timing you think that it might be a big disclosure this year?" And I said, "Yeah, April." And it coincides with her whistleblowers and what they're telling her about this April. And astrologically, and this is really for any astrology, not just Vedic, there's a conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. And the particular constellation it is in Vedic astrology, or in the sky, is a constellation about cutting through. It's Kritika, and it's a Vedic name, but this last constellation in Aries in Vedic, and I know that will be Taurus tropical, but either way, the constellation represents cutting through all the nonsense and bringing out truth, and it will be something sudden because it's Uranus, and something good because it's Jupiter. So that conjunction is not dangerous. It's more like a positive, great piece of news or enlightened information, incredible insight and inspirational. And of course, other things would go on well too for the world, like cryptocurrency. That's also something Uranus, Jupiter, or different kinds of scientific breakthroughs. But disclosure is highly likely. This is not something that happens very often. This is a rare conjunction, and it's in a really good constellation. So that's one thing I wanted to say about April. And of course, we're going towards it. I mean, they're getting closer when we have our expo, but April's stronger. So otherwise, I'm not sure about anything else happening in February.
Okay. Except we've got aliens at shopping malls in Miami.
Right,
Oh, yes.
exactly.
We got that going on.
Yes.
We have the possibility. I like the way Kristine lit up on that.
Yeah.
Kristine, I'll let you speak about it in a second. Is that in January? We're in January now, but we're supposed to start. Well, this week is the House subcommittee. They're having their secret UFO briefing, UAP briefing in a secured
Yes.
with the IG. And the Senate is supposed to be calendaring, and it may happen this month, a Senate hearing on UAPs. We've got that. We've got what's going on in Miami. And so by the time the Conscious Life Expo rolls around February 9th,
Mhm.
have a lot to talk about.
Oh,
I could
much.
see Danny. I could see Danny. I could see, Nick Pope or Linda redoing their entire presentation.
Yeah.
Centered around what may be going on.
Exactly.
Kristine, can I ask you about what do you make of? Okay, we don't have to spend the whole show on this. What do you make of the video coming out of Miami and this ET?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I just, when I first saw it happening, I was on X when it was going live. They were saying all this police presence. I mean, the massive amount of police presence that showed up at a mall for kids fighting with sticks just made no sense to me. And that was the report coming out that night. But it was like 300 police cars plus helicopters. So, I mean, that sounds like something to me. So then, and then I was following the story and I saw the video of the shadows and the extremely tall shadows. And, I don't know, but it seems awfully suspicious to me. And, I think that if we're in this moment of disclosure that everything's kind of coming out, then I think maybe the our alien friends are also saying, hey, we're going to show you more now, because
Yeah, and Serena, when you saw the video,
Yeah.
and what do you make of it?
Well, I'm not sure about the video. It wasn't really clear enough to me. I'd like to know more about what people said they saw. I didn't hear enough about that. Because if someone's there and they saw something they really thought alien, I'd be more interested in hearing from an eyewitness than the shadows being, because very often shadows can be really tall. And the people grouped together, I think there was one that was people grouped together rather than an ET. But it's I'd like to hear what the people actually saw.
It kind of reminds me a lot, not a little bit. So I shouldn't even say kind of. It reminds me of Las Vegas last year. And when Las Vegas and that the sighting and the story and the family and the police and the body cams on, when that took off.
Yes.
And the same thing with Miami.
Yeah.
Right, where what that tells me? It tells me that people are interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the reaction from the public. It just shows me that there is a huge interest right now about the subject, and this isn't playing around. We've had different things that have happened over the years. Look at the UAP shoot downs over the United States. How big of news would a weather balloon been news 20 years ago? Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would the sighting of an alien at a mall, would a story from a couple of kids in their backyard, right?
Yeah, I think that I like the Las Vegas witnesses. I think they had much more believable. I think they were very believable. And I saw those. I think that was much better than the one in the mall.
I think the mall one, to me, it's not so much the video, because it's, as you said, it's really hard to see, but it's just that police presence that is a lot. That was a lot.
That was a lot. I remember. So I was watching everything unfold, just like everybody, right? I'm right there, and when that camera panned up the street,
Right.
I was like,
Yes.
is that every police car in Miami-Dade and Broward counties?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember the show Cops? You remember that show Cops, right?
Mhm.
And so they were always in Broward County. Right?
Yeah. I know that name so well.
They didn't have that many police in the right. I've seen the TV show. And oh my God. I mean, in that one shot, and I stopped and I counted like 50 police cars in a frame. Right?
Yeah.
Lord knows what was going on around the block. But
Right.
yeah, that seemed to be a pretty good, pretty big reaction to kids fighting in the food court.
With sticks.
Yeah, with sticks.
But I wonder why an ET would go to a mall. They might want to do some shopping, perhaps. But but it's really a kind of a strange place to go because they're going to be seen for sure.
You know what my
Yeah.
favorite thing about all of this disclosure is that it's opening up people's minds to all of the other aspects, not just ETs coming from other planets, but sort of the multi-dimensional aspect of it, simulation theory, sound and frequency healing. Like we've kind of added a lot to our event because people are now interested in all of these things because disclosure is opening their minds. So that's what I'm really excited about too. About the upcoming expo. We have so many different people talking about really cool things in our AI panel. Like that's going to be really fun. We've got a lot of cool folks talking about that. And, there's a lot of theory about, is AI and, part of sort of the alien family? Like, is that part of it? I don't know. There's so much to talk about.
Well, it has to, but that has to be the case, Kristine. ET, I don't care if ET is 10 years more advanced than us, right? Or, a million years or a billion years. But no matter what, they went through what we are going through now.
Right.
So they have taken whatever technology. Can you imagine the microwave ovens they've got in Zeta Reticuli? Right? Any technology that we have, they went through. And computers and artificial intelligence and the robotization.
It's a word.
Yeah.
They went through all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't a simulation theory or an augmented reality or an artificial intelligence type of existence not be something that we should be aware of, but certainly that ET is fully cognizant of? It has to just be that way. It has to. And for instance, this Thursday, here on Fade to Black, I've got Ron Moorhead on the show. And Ron Moorhead is, not only is he a great Bigfoot researcher, but he's the guy that recorded the Bigfoot voices so many years ago. But his research, his study, his schooling is in physics. He's a businessman. But he just happened to be at the right place at the right time and had audio equipment and recorded a couple of Bigfoots arguing, or maybe they were arguing, but they were talking. But his thing is that. Is there a connection between physics and science and the hard science and Bigfoot and the Bigfoot reality and phenomenon? So that's exactly what the Conscious Life Expo is doing. And I think that the community is doing the same thing, merging consciousness, us crystal people,
right,
and science. The two.
Yeah, the AI panel is about consciousness and AI. And, I was going to tell you, I had an incredible conversation with Michael Cremo about that one day. It was one of those kind of conversations, because, I have a Vedic background and he is still living in temples and studying the Vedas. And so we had this conversation about can consciousness be in AI, or can AI be conscious? And our first thought was no, because it's material, it's not made to receive consciousness. So the way we look at the soul in Vedic teachings is that that's us and it's pure spirit, that we are pure spirit. We go on, of course, we don't die when the body dies. And the way to tell if something is alive is it conscious? And then that means if it's conscious, it means that there's a soul within it. So then can the soul live in an AI body or maybe a robot body? And we thought no, because that we have two bodies. We have the soul, which is pure spirit, and then we have what we call the subtle body, or people can call it the psychic body, or the body that carries the soul to the next life and has the different things within it, like the karma and the intelligence and the mind. The stuff you can't see. So we have the body you can see and the body you can't see. And that's the body you can't see, subtle body, is how the soul can be comfortable in a body, which it's not spirit, when the soul is spiritual and the body isn't. So we thought no, but then we thought, as we had along this long conversation, we realized that perhaps they haven't just made that kind of body yet. So there could be a body in the future, an AI body or robot, whatever, that a soul could have the karma and the desire to live within, as long as the subtle body can be comfortable in it. Because the subtle body is how, we touch something and we feel it, the senses. That's our subtle body. So that's
okay. Now here's my counter argument to that. Serena is wrong. Michael Cremo is wrong. Okay, so listen. If Serena uploaded herself into a robot, that would be the kindest, sweetest robot ever.
Indeed.
There's no way that your soul and your sweetness and your knowledge doesn't transfer over. No. You're wrong. You're completely wrong. No, you're wrong.
That's what the grays could be. That they could be a kind of body that's created that can take the subtle, the soul and the subtle body. We don't know that, but I think at the moment on this planet we don't have a kind of body that man has made, that the soul could live in, because the subtle body, the consciousness, it couldn't be in there. But that doesn't mean we won't create it in the future.
No. I'm not buying that. There's no way you do not transfer over.
This is the kind of great
Kristine, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
So I'm thinking about the atoms, like we're all made up, everything's made up of the same thing. So kind of everything's in the same thing. And like if we create create a robot, I don't know. It's still got the same atoms and the same, molecules and
same atoms.
Is it a program or is it a soul in there that's conscious? And
I'm telling you, Serena, your soul better transfer.
Right? You have consciousness.
Can you imagine an evil Serena robot?
No, I cannot.
What would happen?
Imagine that.
Serena, you need to fire your camera guy.
Oh.
No. Don't touch it.
I haven't touched it.
Is that Doug messing around?
No, I haven't touched the camera. I know, I see it moving.
Yeah. That's not Doug.
You're just going in for the close-up.
Right.
Trying to keep close so you can hear me, but it's strange.
Kristine, you know where Doug is right now while Serena's on the show for 2 hours?
Where?
He's at a steakhouse.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He had a wonderful meal.
He's tiptoeing out.
No,
I hear the fade to black music starting.
I don't think you can say that.
He's
Well,
gonna,
he
he's gonna
really had a great meal.
sneak in the
He's
car.
shouting. He's shouting from the other room. He says that he's working on his cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we were talking to Paul Hynek this evening before I came on, and Paul Hynek says hello. Him and Douglas were talking about cryptocurrency.
I bet they were.
I got some good tips
were.
from Paul, actually. He
Yeah.
gave us some apps,
Yeah.
he gave us some advice.
Yeah, he told me to buy Honda stock. That was my tip. So I've lost control of the show. I've lost control. Okay. Before we go to the break, I'm going to pull this up for a second. This is just a taste, everybody, of the 2024 Conscious Life Expo. Just check this out. There's Bashar, Daryl Anka, Elizabeth April, Linda Moulton Howe, Deborah King, Nick Pope, Andrew Collins, Matthew James Bailey. I just had him on my TV show. He's
awesome.
amazing.
I love him. Yeah.
Twin Ray.
They're magical.
A gift to the ears. That's a gift right there. Twin Ray. There's Glennis McCantis is coming in for the first time too as well. I'm just going to scroll through. There's 200 people here, so I'm just going to bounce through this. Caroline Corey, Adam Apollo, William Henry, Daniel Sheehan, Sarah Breskman Cosme, Kristine. I was just regressed by Sarah Breskman Cosme on my
Oh, lucky.
on TV. You did it on TV. Yeah.
What can you tell us? You have to tell us about it.
You got to go watch the show. You got to go watch it. Vivian Chavez, Del Bigtree, Whitley's going to be there, of course. Matthew LaCroix's got the #1 book with Billy Carson right now on Amazon. Rick Levine, of course, is going to be there. Sandra Rose Michael, one of the coolest people on planet Earth right there. Kristine, there's your competition right there. She's absolutely amazing.
She can have it. She's way cooler than me.
Brad Olson, Jason Shirka, Riz Verk. Look at Riz. Daniel Brinkley, Maureen St. Germain, Karen Reese. Ra of Earth. He's got my hair from the Sunset Strip in 1984. Look at the mane.
I know that's a good head of hair there.
JJ and Desiree Hertog. So last night I'm watching this documentary and called From Beyond the Stars, I think, about I don't want to get into it. Anyway, so amazing documentary about this woman who was abducted and had an alien child in 1951, I think it was. So I'm watching the documentary. Guess who comes on? JJ. Yeah. Jay Hertog wearing his beret, but this is from like 40 years ago. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Let me just scroll through here.
They're so great.
They're the best. They were just on Gail Thackeray. Absolutely amazing. Check out Shima.
Lounging.
Last year, talent show, ukulele.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that, Kristine?
Yeah, and she was also doing the opening ceremony at the expo this year, so that's like going to be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought the house down with that ukulele last year. Is this thing on? Ding, 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 ding. She's the absolute very best. I don't know who this lady is here. Melanie Aguirre. I'm so looking forward to seeing her. There's Alan Steinfeld, of course. But this is just a taste. Susan Shumsky. Check out Susan. Jerry Sargent is going to be there. Bobby Perala is going to be there, and it's Stephen Bass.
We've got so many cool folks. Oh my gosh, with so much knowledge.
And just going through, we've got the Hall of Healing this year, the George Norrie Forum, my disclosure lunch, and we've got Susan Slaughter back.
Yeah, Susan
with
Slaughter's
her
coming back.
seance. Yeah, I am so. And then, of course, Expo's Got Talent. Let's take a break right here. We will be back more with Kristine and Serena right after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. And stay with us. We will be right back.
My job is not to preach. My job is to take you on this journey.
In a state of passion, nothing negative can happen.
That it's the moons of those planets that would have life.
Sometimes I see, these energies also in your field.
It is our passion and our pleasure. Hi, everybody. Jimmy Church here. Very special announcement, and that is we are shipping Fade to Black t-shirts again. It's been almost 2 years. We did a full upgrade to the website, so you can head over to jimmychurchradio.com. It's all simple to do, and it's right there. Remember, we broadcast 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday. We bring you the best, the brightest, the most knowledgeable and amazing guests, the best conversations. We do that 4 nights a week. We also do 4 days a week. We broadcast the news, and we do that live too as well. It's not a one-man show. I do it with website support. I do it with producers. I do it with writers and artists. All contribute to the show. The best way to help support what we do here is with the Fade to Black t-shirt. And you can get your Fade to Black t-shirt one of 2 ways. First, go to jimmychurchradio.com, order a shirt. It's really that simple. You're going to get a tracking number, it's going to get shipped, and it's going to get autographed. The second way to get a shirt is with a Game Changer membership. Now, the Game Changer membership not only includes a free t-shirt, but you get a private email to me. You get unlimited commercial-free downloads. You have full access to the website, and everything includes free shipping, and everything is autographed. So help support the show. Get your Fade to Black t-shirt today. The links are below. You can just go to jimmychurchradio.com, and it's right on the website. So there you go. I'm Jimmy Church, Fade to Black. I'm so excited that I just have one thing to say. Go Beckley Teppy. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our annual, we do this every year. Tonight is our annual Conscious Life Expo preview special. We've got Kristine Augustyn here with us, and Serena Wright Taylor is with us. And I'm having so much fun on the show. I'm very excited when I get to this point of the year, and we all talk about it in our circle, right? The conference season is starting. And, you know, we start off with the biggest event of the year every year, and it's the Conscious Life Expo. And I can't believe it. I just can't believe another year has gone by, and so much has happened in the past year. And I was looking, check this out. Now, talk about new faces and things at the Conscious Life Expo. Very excited that this young lady is going to be there, Emily Harrison, and she's been a guest on Fade to Black. And her knowledge and the way that her presentation and the way that she delivers, it is world class. And I'm very excited to see her at the Conscious Life Expo. But going down and looking at Zenka Caro is going to be lecturing. There's Deborah Giese. And then I see this guy's picture here. This guy, Doug Taylor. And I don't know much about Doug. Kristine, who's Doug?
He's a pretty cool guy.
Is he?
He's doing Serena's camera work right now, and or having a steak, one or the other. Maybe Serena can tell you more.
Yeah. Serena, how cool is it? Doug is always there. He's got his artwork there. But how special is it to have Doug speaking?
Oh, it's great because, he says that every year. And of course, he's been on your show and Coast to Coast and various other things too. But yeah, he gets to talk about his understanding of extraterrestrials and other planets and how we receive inspiration and how we can tune in to those realms ourselves. The more of the spiritual high frequency extraterrestrials he'll talk about. And those are the ones that he encountered. And those are the ones that still inspire him today. And his art, he brings through when you see his, as you know, but not everyone knows. You can go to Douglas Taylor visionaryart.com, because actually there's another Douglas Taylor who does art, but this is Douglas Taylor visionaryart.com, and see some of his inspired paintings that really tune you in to those higher worlds and those very advanced extraterrestrial landscapes.
Yep, I've got some Doug Taylor art here.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited about that. And the other part is I want you to go over your UFO panel, and the focus for you each year is on the ET and contact aspect of the Conscious Life Expo. At the Conscious Life Expo, it's like the colors of Benetton, right? Where we've got all sides of the awakened and conscious community. We have that. We have the new age aspect of it. We have the science part of it too, as well, and the other component for the Conscious Life Expo has been ET, contact, UFOs, and so forth, and that's what Serena brings to the table, and she's got a focus on this. I'm speaking to the audience right now. Each year,
that UFO panel is the best of the best of the best. And so, who do you have speaking on your panel this year?
We have Linda Moulton Howe, we have Whitley Strieber, we have Nick Pope, we have Caroline Corey. Oh, Stephen Bassett's going to be with us, and I'm missing one person. Who am I missing? I'm missing one person. Anyway, it'll come to me. But I love it that, Danny Sheehan, of course, Danny Sheehan. I'm not in front of it right now. And it's amazing how when we have the panel that, of course, the speakers and the investigators talk to each other as well. And they compare notes. And things have been realized right on the panel. More information has come through because they compare notes about their discoveries. And this year, I'm calling it a new world, because the really one of the earliest whistleblowers was Colonel Philip Corso, and in his whole encounter. Well, actually, there's one encounter that he had with an ET that wasn't even in his book, The Day After Roswell. It wasn't even part of the book. It happened before that, and he encountered an extraterrestrial at White Sands, and he asked him, friend or foe. I think obviously he must have been telepathic. And the ET said, neither. And then he said, what can you bring us? And the ET said, a new world, if you can take it. And that also is the name of Whitley Strieber's book. He has a book called A New World. But that's what I'm calling the panel, so that we can discuss how things are changing because of disclosure, and how our new world is going to look. And how it is now, and what's coming in, and how it's going to change everything. So we're all going to discuss that between ourselves and answer questions on the UFO panel on Sunday morning.
That is a world-class powerhouse panel.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it is.
I'm jealous. I don't even want to talk about my panel.
Oh, your panel is too. It's fantastic.
It ain't yours. It ain't yours. I get Serena's leftovers. That's what I get.
Oh, not true.
Fantastic. Your panel is great. And you know so much about the ancient sites. You've been there as well. And so what a great discussion that's going to be on Friday.
Well, see, I have it's an honor and a privilege for me every year to, kick off and do this stuff on Friday. It's just like an amazing thing to go through. But in years past, I'm always asking questions and learning from people that have been to these sites. It ain't that kind of party anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I have not only do I have something to say, I do. I've got experiences now, and I've seen, but I've got more questions than I have answers. And one would think, and this is I'm being very serious. One would think that when I ask somebody that has been to wherever, that I'm going to get the answers out of them because they've been there. They don't necessarily do that because they can't. They've got their own personal experiences. They can discuss that, but they come away with more questions than answers, just like I do. And and now I understand how I couldn't squeeze something out of William Henry. Because it's just one of those things where, sure, you have your WTF moments, right? You just like, what? Yeah, and I've experienced that, but it's not like I've suddenly walked away with the keys to the universe. No, it just opens up more doors. But I have that experience now that I can bring to the ancient panel that I'll be doing again this year. Very, very excited about that. Kristine, I wanted to ask you, when we started Expo's Got Talent.
Yes.
And the idea, the germ of the idea, right? It's in a Petri dish, right? And you kind of shake it around a little bit and see what happens. Well, it was fun for us. It was a cool idea. I don't think what it's turned into is what anybody expected. Same thing for you, what it's turned into?
Well, what I know now is that it is, not only do people look forward to it, but the talent that we get that comes into Expo's Got Talent, it's like, this is our fun little show. And now it's just like a major talent, opportunity. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fun, but now it's more nerve-wracking too, because we've got major talent. It's really hard for the judges to decide, and having to only pick 3 winners has become tougher because it's it's a lot of talent comes in now.
Well, you know what? Every year it's the same thing. I think this is probably our 5th year now, I think, of doing it. I might be wrong. 5th? Yeah, I think so. But is that the community is a small family. The attendees, that's in the tens of thousands. I get that. But it's the vendors, the speakers, we're all family. We hang out all year long and we do all of these things. We know each other. I know every vendor, you know what I mean? It's family. But seeing somebody that I've known for all of these years get up and belt out a song that could be on the radio or dance or tell jokes or whatever it is, whatever the talent is, right? It's like world class. And he says, I didn't know.
Right, exactly.
The level of talent in our family is mind blowing.
It really is, and it's so endearing too. It's like, one of our exhibitors last year, he's like, hey, can I play guitar? And I was like, yeah, totally. And it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Like, I love that people want to share that with us and like want to be up there and like put themselves out there. I don't know. I just find it so charming and just so sweet and so exciting.
Do you remember that year? I think it was 2 years ago. The little Mozart kid that played piano.
Oh yes, yeah.
Remember
that was amazing.
So
yes.
So I'm on stage. I don't know anybody, right? And we did a little sound check and all of that. But so I'm introducing everybody and doing my thing. And so this kid comes up. He's about as tall as a bottle of Coke. But he had really long, gorgeous hair, right? But he was probably, I'm going to say 10, maybe 9, 10, 11. Couldn't, there's no way he was 12. And so he sits down and nobody knew. And this dude, you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
And I'm standing there and I'm thinking to myself, when I was his age, I was making mud pies in a sand. How did I screw up my life? And I think he win?
Yeah, he did. He had
did.
one of the prizes. I think it was probably the first one. I can't remember. I know he won either first or second.
Man, mind blowing. And we're going to do it again this year. Expo's Got Talent. I have no idea what's going to happen. Didn't last year we have a tie?
I think we did have a tie, a third place had a tie, I think.
Well, we had to have a tie break. Well, okay. I do remember 3 years ago we had a tie, and I was on stage, and I was like, I am not going to pick the winner here. That's a problem. You can't have a tie in a talent show, right? Because now you suddenly somebody was good enough to win, but they didn't. No, you as judges, you got to work that out.
Right.
Don't bring me a piece of paper that says it's a tie, Jimmy.
Work it out, Jimmy.
It's on you. Oh man. Oh man. I got a suit full of money. Right? Right. I got prizes.
Yeah.
And suddenly you no, man. Oh man. Yeah, I'm so excited about Expo's Got Talent. It's just turned into this event, and it's a really, really, really big deal. Standing room only. Wow, just incredible. Just incredible. When it comes to the astrology side of things, we've got David Palmer is there again this year. We've got a huge post-conference thing. We've got Rick Levine, Serena. You're an astrologer yourself, but that's a big part of not only the community, but the focus of so many attendees that are going to be there. What do you make of? I'm going to ask Serena first, but I want Kristine on this. We've got different takes on astrology, right? We've got different takes on charts. We've got ancient astrology, but from different parts of the world, right? Can everybody be right?
Yeah, they all. It's
really.
Yeah. I mean, it's how you translate it, of course. So somebody might have translated something differently, some astrologers, to others. But basically, the different kinds of astrology on the planet, they complement each other. And in Vedic, basically, the difference is by 23 degrees because we go fixed stars. We're a bit closer to astronomy. But if everyone looks, say, for instance, I'm a Pisces in Vedic and Aries in tropical. So if I was looking at a tropical explanation, I'd read the Aries. If I was reading Vedic, of course, I'd look at Pisces. But everyone, it all complements each other, even if they're different kinds of aspects, the trines and the squares and so on. We use them too in Vedic, some more than others. But it's the same thing. It has the same, information for a person. So really, I think there's a lot. You can have like two different charts from different parts of the world and just gain more knowledge about the situation. Not that one would be wrong and one would be right.
Kristine, what do you make? Is there a type of astrology that you follow? I listen to everything and kind of hit somewhere in the middle myself.
Yeah, totally. I have gotten amazing readings from Serena in Vedic astrology, and a lot of what she says makes so much sense to me. So I love that. And then Matt Gleason, who is another astrologer that is will be exhibiting at the expo, he's my other astrologer. So I have two astrologers in two different areas, and I listen to them both. So
Okay.
I wanted to say we also have Astrology Hub. Astrology Hub is going to be an exhibitor and have a booth there, and that's huge. They're like such a big astrology team that we're excited that they're coming there this year.
I'll tell everybody a secret. I don't know exactly when this was, but I'm going to throw a number out there and say 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 7. Serena does my chart. All right. It's like a big deal. So we go through the whole thing, and she gives me, I'm not going to give everything away here, but she gives me a little bit of a timeline. Okay, there's this week, and then, okay, we got a couple of weeks from now, and then next month, and then the month after that, this. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much, Serena. I'll talk to you later. Boom, hang up. Hey, after we talk for about an hour, right? We do this thing. Everything she said happened.
Yes.
I never told her. She's hearing this now for the first time.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 weeks later, and this is where I'm going to use some bad words. Somebody says something to me, and then something else happened, and I was like, no shit.
Yeah, I remember telling you something that wasn't the best. I mean, yeah,
but,
and you said nah, and then whatever it was happened, I guess.
It was like crazy town.
Yes, it is.
And-
Serena is so accurate. So accurate.
Yeah. And you know, and David Palmer is so great.
Yes.
Different. It's different styles, which I appreciate that too as well. You have the lamb and the unicorn in Serena.
Yes.
And you got the V12 Ferrari. That's David Palmer. Right. But both are reading, you know, the planets are the planets, the stars are the stars, right? Everything is moving, and you're seeing everything the same way. That, you know, you can't change any of that, the physicality of it, but it's the interpretation. And it's pretty wild how the consistency is there. Now, and I know, there's a wall between these different forms of astrology, and I get that. But really, if you're doing it right, there shouldn't be any walls.
Yeah.
This should be about discussion and talking through things.
Yeah, you just get more of a picture of all sides of a situation. But in Vedic astrology, you have the best chart since 1963. Like I always say. You do. People look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
You know, we were talking about Expo's Got Talent, and I just saw this guy right here. Now, I've known Sam. We've all known Sam for forever. I love this. I've got his jewelry and things. Just love. One year, he comes up and he goes, "Hey, man, I'm singing tonight." And I'm like, "Where?" Right? Expo's Got Talent. What? Yeah, man, I'm a little nervous. What are you going to sing? And I forget how he put it to me. He goes, "I'm going to do a Motown song." And I'm looking at Sam, right? I'm like, okay, all right. Man, do you remember that, Serena?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know he could sing.
He was amazing. And I've never forgotten that moment when I was like, "You're going to sing?"
That warmed my heart.
It was so funny when I said, "Where?"
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. Time that we have left in the post conference. Now, for everybody, when you go to Conscious Life Expo, there are different sections and different things to do. So you can go and check out the schedule and how this is done. Right now, we're going to talk about the post conference. There is, you can go. What's the ticket price just for a general admission ticket?
Each day is a different price.
Yeah, you can get a 3-day pass for Friday, Saturday, Sunday for $99, which is a bargain.
Stop right there.
I know, right?
Stop right there. $99, so $33 a day. Yes. And you've got all the free lectures that you can handle. You've got the vendor hall. You've got the food. You got this. You got that.
Multiple vendor halls.
It's crazy.
Yes.
For a general admission ticket to be just $99. Yeah. So, and I would say probably, I mean, I'm going to take a wild guess here, but I'm going to say probably 8,000 people just get that ticket. Because there's too much to do just with that ticket. And right. And so there's that. But so in addition to that is the post-conference special events that are going to be going on. Mm-hmm. So let's go through that really quick. I am for the first time because Robert put me on the spot. Oh, you weren't there for that, Kristine.
I know, I missed it.
So Robert goes, so Jimmy, are you going to be there on Monday? I always leave Monday morning. And I go, and he goes, because, yeah, it'd be really cool, if you're there post-conference. And, no, I'll set you up with and I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm going to be there on Monday. So this will be the first year. He wants to make sure I'm introducing people. That's what it is. He's going to get all the work out of me he can handle, that I can handle. But this will be the first post-conference that I have done in 10 years. I'm very excited about this.
We have so much going on Monday. The post-conference is very full and robust.
So let's start here. We've got Nick Pope, post-conference.
Yeah, and that one, he's going to let everyone ask him anything. I told him it's kind of more casual and it's a small group and people can chat with you. And he wants everyone to just ask him anything about UFOs or about his experience in the government in England with the UFO desk, or what's going on now, or Rendlesham Forest, or whatever you want. So it'll be great for you to chit chat with him. It'll be really nice.
I'm going to ask the first question.
Yeah.
Are you still employed?
Yes, in the government.
Are you still employed by the MOD? Do they ever really let you go? Okay. Linda Moulton Howe is post-conference. Serena?
Yeah, it's going to be whistleblowers, her whistleblowers. And she has different ones from Danny Sheehan that she's had some whistleblowers for a long time, and she checks those people out like anything, as you know. So she knows how, where they worked and which branch of the military they were in and the whole thing. So she knows who they are, but a lot of them want to be anonymous still, just for safety. But she gets incredible information about what's going on and the plans for disclosure. So she's going to be talking about that in the post-con.
Deborah King, Kristine.
Well, Deborah always brings her A game. So she'll be talking about her healing modalities, and she's really going otherworldly these days. So she's really talking a lot about the interstellar sort of healing that comes through interdimensionally. So it's going to be cool.
You know what's funny? It's ET is now the safe zone.
Right.
Right. Right. If you go, what was the movie with Joaquin Phoenix and was it Mel Gibson, where they're all sitting with the tinfoil hats? Signs.
Oh, Signs.
Right.
Remember the whole family, and Mel Gibson comes home and he walks in. They're all sitting on the couch watching the news, and they all got tinfoil hats. Well, that was us.
Right.
That's the way the world looked at it. It's not that kind of party anymore. Right? It's really strange. ET, that subject, is now the safe place. It's like, what happened?
I did want to bring up real quick. We're also doing one of the panels we're doing, which is new this year, is an ET Origins panel.
Oh, there you go.
I know that's going to be on Saturday afternoon, and it's we have a lot of super cool people that know all the different ET races and are going to kind of explain about all of the different races, all the different kinds of ETs. So that's new this year, and that's going to be really, really cool.
Well, again, it's the safe place.
Yeah.
The safe place. How many panels am I doing this year? One or two?
You're leading the ancient secrets panel, and then you've got Closure Lunch, which isn't really a panel.
Okay, so just two this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got it easy. Riz Verk.
Yeah.
Now, you know where I met? Now, Riz has risen. Riz has become such a fixture of this community. I met Riz. He was just an attendee at Conscious Life Expo, I don't know how many years ago. And Dannion Brinkley, I had Dannion on, I think it was on Coast to Coast. was either Coast to Coast or Fade to Black, but I think it was Coast to Coast. Daniel brings up Riz on the air. And later, and it just kind of came, and I remember the name. Riz came up to me at the Conscious Life Expo, and he goes, "Hey man, it's me, Riz Verk." I go, "Dude, oh okay," but he was just an attendee, and now his books have he brings so much to the table. And now here he is post-con at Conscious Life Expo. It's so exciting.
And I mentioned that his book is part of the book awards as well. We have the second annual book award competition going on right now. It's hot. It's hot. Lots of votes coming in. It's anybody's game.
Don't give me a tie. That just do not. do not give me a tie. Andrew Collins. Now I know you mentioned this earlier, Serena, when you got ahead of us. But Andrew Collins, what's he speaking on post-con?
That is about. That's where he gets into the multidimensional kind of ETs, and how they influence this planet and the ancient history. So it'll be really interesting. That he's going in transdimensional. It's like so many dimensions. And that explains a lot of the things that we don't seem to understand. And, just going back to Whitley for a minute, because he's not doing postcon, but he's doing his talk on Sunday. So one of the things he's including in that is about the government, how they don't really understand, and therefore they're talking about all the things to do with extraterrestrials. He calls it the government's hidden struggle to understand, and that's why that kind of holds back disclosure, because I think they feel they don't understand it all, and we don't understand it all. But it's transdimensional, multidimensional. So even from ancient times. So that's what one of the things that Andrew Collins is going to go into in his postcon, and a lot to do with Turkey and the ancient sites there, not just Göbekli, but the other ones too.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of post-con here. Gemini Brett is going to be speaking, and Clarice Chan.
Yeah, Clarice Chan is awesome. We're entering into the Year of the Dragon, the weekend of the expo. So she's going to be talking about that and what's coming up for what that year ahead looks like for us.
I always think of Bruce Lee. That's all.
Yeah.
It was a movie of his, Kristine. It was called A Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, just checking.
I can't say I saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
So it's New Year's Eve, and I'm with Billy Carson. I'm in Miami, and my phone is just going off the hook. Happy New Year, right? With the message, and that text coming in, every single one. Year of the Dragon. Year of the Dragon. Year of the Dragon. Year of the Dragon. And I'm very happy that people are paying attention. And 2024, out of every year, we say the same thing. We do. This is the year. This is the year that it happens. Well, you know what? We've been saying that since 1947.
Oh, right.
Right? 2024 is different. This is different. This is there's something going on. Rick Levine, and him and his famous shirt. I tried to get this shirt from him the last conference. I couldn't work a deal out. I tried to trade him for a Fade to Black shirt. Rick Levine, Jerry Sargent.
Jerry is, he's a master healer, and he usually does very personal one-on-one within this huge group that he gets. We've given him a bigger room this year for his post-conference because it gets too full. So he usually does very kind of personal sessions within the large group, healing, bringing stuff in for people that they didn't know they needed. People leave his stuff transformed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. William Henry.
Yeah, he's got an interesting title to his postcon. It's the Psychedelic Sacrament, Awaken the Divine Within. How exciting. So, yeah, he's going to be talking about that.
That could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah, with William, it could be.
That sounds like the title to one of my panels when I just want to talk about anything. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that William is changing. All right, and I'll say this, William, and I say this with the greatest of affection. William is one of the nicest, smartest, kindest, friendliest, amazing, knowledge, spiritual people that I know, period, on this planet. But I think he's starting to get angry. All right. He wants change. And he really wants people to open their eyes. Mm-hmm. And I think that the soft-spoken William, I think he got dropped off somewhere. And I really appreciate that about him. He's evolving, but I just think that he wants people he wants more listening and less talking.
Yeah. Yeah. And after all this time, we should be realizing a few things about what he's been saying. Yeah.
He said, I remember we were somewhere in Beverly Hills, and we were walking and talking. We were at a crosswalk at night in Beverly Hills, right? Sunset Boulevard or something, and Bel Air or something. And we're I said, he goes, Jimmy, you've got to come to Egypt with me. This is like in the crosswalk. And I said, well, what site should I go to? What's the one that's going to change me? What's the one? What's the secret? He goes, you'll know when you get there. Now, that sounds like an open-ended answer. He's absolutely right. And the magic that happened to me wasn't at what I was, you know what I mean? I had high expectations. Mm-hmm. And William has been there so many, and he said, Jimmy, it's different things to me at different places every time I go. It's always a different type of experience. And that's what William brings to the table.
Yeah.
He has been there, and like I said, I like this. This new William. It's not as radical as I'm suggesting here, but I've known him for such a long time, like we all have. And I just think that he's like, okay, it's time to, I want to use a bad word. I'm not going to do it. It's time to get busy, right? Right. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about William. Now we've got Matthew James Bailey, AI, one of the who's who in the world when it comes to artificial intelligence. Yes. And it's so good to see. Now here he's got gray hair. When he was on my TV show, he had purple hair or green.
Yeah, I think it's kind of white. He's got white hair. I think it leaves him flexibility to make it any color he wants.
Yeah. I think that's an older picture. So is he going to be speaking about artificial intelligence?
So he does. He has a keynote workshop on Saturday night at 8. And in that workshop, he is going to be talking about AI and consciousness, as well as on the panel. But in the post-conference, he is going to be doing a presentation with Barbara Hepburn, and it's about human potential. And he is in the middle of this collaboration with her, where he is drawing on many different aspects to help people realize their potential. So it's going to be really cool.
He's really knowledgeable about this and how to recognize and see it and pick up on the vibration, and how he personally went through this. I spoke to him at length over dinner and on my TV show about this, and it's an eye opener. And he's a very, 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 very smart guy. We've got Adam Apollo again this year, one of my favorite people. Look at this row right here. Adam, Gail Thackeray, Sarah Breskman Cosme, all doing post-cons.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about Adam Apollo? My favorite
besides his wardrobe.
Yes, besides, I love that he talks about consciousness all day, and he has all of these amazing things that he is doing for society, for humanity in general. Super smart guy. But then you put him behind the DJ turntables at night, and he's the best thing ever. And he's going to be doing that with David Palmer. We have 2 nights of Leo King dance party, and Adam Apollo is going to be joining that. But I love him so much when he's DJing. It's his joy is just amazing.
He's amazing. Both him. Okay, so. At Stairway to the Stars, right? We had both Adam and David there to DJ, as you guys know. And I got to just get up there in the DJ booth and watch them do their thing.
Yes.
And these guys are artists, man. That totally. DJing and DJing. Watch what they do. I stand behind them, right? I'll just watch and see how this stuff is layered and put together. It's absolutely amazing. But he is one of the smartest. And when it comes to consciousness, contact, the contactee experience, and artificial intelligence, and the internet, and society, and social media, all of this, and how all of it needs to integrate because it's all connected. And Adam has a way of putting it all together.
Yeah, he's going to be talking about on PostCon spiritual science of Starfleet. And how we can become a galactic civilization, which we have to become.
We have to. One day we need to blow this popsicle stand. Right? It's a fact. It's a fact. Gail Thackeray. One of my highlights of Conscious Life Expo, besides Kristine, for me personally, is my booth. Right, is across from Gail's.
Yes.
And I get to hang out with Gail for the weekend, and Sydney and everybody that works around her. They're just absolutely amazing, and she's just one of the highlights of the weekend for me. Gail Thackeray.
She's so kind and so sweet and gentle and just really wants to help people. I love her.
She knows how to use that accent too, like Serena.
She
does. Oh man! Seriously, Serena knows how to turn up the heat. She does. She knows that. Sarah Breskman Cosme. Wow.
Not great. For PostCon, she's going to talk about something a bit different than you expect. She's actually going to talk about losing weight with self-hypnosis. Because so many people, well, so many drugs and things that the people take and that have side effects, but self-hypnosis doesn't have side effects. It'll be so great. So
maybe she should regress me. Jimmy, you will lose weight. Jimmy, put down the in and out.
Yeah.
Back away.
Good idea.
From the Haagen-Dazs. Yeah.
Now you're making me hungry.
Oh man. Let's see here. Who else? We're almost out of time. Let's see.
Well, I would like to say we have some other things going on PostCon too. We have a rabbit hole roundtable, so that it's almost like another panel, which will be a lot of the folks from our rabbit hole program will be talking about and comparing their different experiences. And we also have a medical freedom panel on Monday, which will be a lot of different people talking about different aspects of medical freedom and choice and stuff like that. And Monroe Institute will have a post-com with Alan Evans, and they are, the leader in binaural beats, and they will be in their, they have a separate room where they do free meditations all weekend. You can go in and listen to their binaural beats programming, and they have comfy chairs and headphones, and it's very cool. So those are some extra things that are also going on Monday.
So when you go, and I'll make this really quick for everybody, it's easy to navigate. So when you go to consciouslifeexpo.com and you click on the schedule, this is the schedule that pops up. It is heavy. It is full, but green is free lectures, and there's your special events, panel discussions, post-conference. And so just with that $99 ticket that we were just referencing, that's all the green stuff that you see here constantly all the way down. We've got the dance party with the Leo King, the speaker reception. You can come and hang out with that. But if you just go through and look, on Friday, all at the same time, you've got Susan Chomsky, Robert Parala, all the way down. That's Friday at noon, kicking things off. Friday at 2, Friday at 4, Friday at 6, Friday at 8. All the way down. It's absolutely incredible. So that's how you go and navigate the schedule of stuff. So if you want to get to panel discussions and you want to take a look at that, you click here, boom, all the panels are here, special events. So you want to take a look at that. Everything is here. And then, of course, the post-conference schedule is here. You can purchase your tickets through that. And all of the keynote workshops are here too as well. So you guys, thank you so much. I'm very excited. We're doing it again. February 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. The LAX Hilton, the Conscious Life Expo. I will be throughout the rest of this month leading up to the expo. Each week, I'm going to have 2 or 3 guests here on Fade to Black, like I do every year, and to talk about not only the expo, but where we are right now in 2024 and their research and what we've got going on. So lots to do between now and February 9th, but I'll see everybody at the LAX Hilton. Serena, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to be with you again.
Kristine, you're the absolute very best young lady.
Thank you. I wanted to tell you really quickly, you have Neil Story on tomorrow.
I do.
I went to Scotland with Neil Story last year.
Did you really?
I did. So oh my gosh, and you have to ask him about, we did a little sort of faux Ouija board session in his room at one of these haunted places. You have to ask him about it. It was incredible.
Hold on. That's too good.
It was so good.
Hold on. Okay.
I'm talking things flying around the room good.
Okay, hold on. Ouija with Kristine.
In Scotland.
I can't wait to hear this story.
It's a good one.
Stuff flying around the room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll hear it all.
Well, now we're out of time. We're at the end of the show, but is it because you guys were goofing off? Were you guys not behaving?
No. We were we heard that his room at the place we were staying was haunted. So 4 of us went up there. And we did an impromptu little sort of Ouija board session with just a glass and a table. And it was unbelievable, that like crazy. Okay. All right. I'll save it for tomorrow night. Yeah. He's so smart when it comes to writing and research. Right, world class. That's where he is. I mean, he sits up. He's world class. And tomorrow night we're doing Bram Stoker and Dracula. Perfect segue into the Scotland haunted Ouija, Kristine. Yes. Yep.
I can't wait for that. I can't. This week on the show, tomorrow night, Neil Story. Wednesday night, I've got Dee Snider here, the singer from Twisted Sister. That's right. So that's Wednesday night. That's and then Thursday, Ron Moorhead. What an amazing week on the show. So thank you guys, and we've got lots to do and talk about between now and February 9th. Still more to do, but thank you for everything, and I'll see you guys at the expo.
Yay!
Bye.
See everybody.
See everyone.
Have a great night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.
Bye for now. And that will wrap this year's Conscious Life Expo preview show. It's all simple to do. Head over to consciouslifeexpo.com. It's right there. Everything that you need is there. The schedule, post-conference, everything. There's so much to do and see. You've kind of got to plot out your weekend. So go and do it over at consciouslifeexpo.com. All right. Yeah. Tomorrow night, Neil Story is here, Bram Stoker and Dracula. And then Wednesday night, Dee Snider is here. And Thursday night, Ron Moorhead. What a crazy week on Fade to Black. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Jonaside. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until tomorrow night with Neil's Story, be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.